The more you know, the better you get and the prouder you are of yourself.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Angie Scott and Barb Cary.
Welcome to the Women Angler and Adventure podcast. This is Barb Cary, along with co-host Angie Scott doing the show, and I am off on an adventure while Angie's back in Nashville, and I have the pleasure of running into one of my professional walleye role models, Brenda Picht. Picht, I get it wrong every time.
Everybody does.
I know, not too many times you get to talk to someone who actually fishes professionally in the walleye tournament scene. And Brenda, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Oh, I'm glad to talk to you. Love to talk about fishing.
So, how long have you been doing this now? This is kind of a rare thing, though. There is hardly any women anymore fishing the circuits.
No, yeah, there's not a lot of them doing it full time, pretty much. I mean, and have a full time job. But I've started about 20 years ago fishing women's tournaments in Minnesota. Then conned my husband into fishing a couples tournament in which we won for the perch division. So I got him hooked on it, and now we've been going ever since. And we've been from Oahe, South Dakota, Green Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all over. It's been a blast.
So it's really a lifestyle, I think I found. And, it's kind of not one that everybody can participate in, but, I know the life and it's just absolutely wonderful. What do you think it takes really because it's not easy. People think, oh, it must be nice to fish for a living, but it's a lot of work. I know.
Yeah, I know. When I take a week off of work to go pre-fish and everybody's like, oh, it must be nice you're going fishing. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You're up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you're out till 6 o'clock at night, whether it's raining or blowing or sunny or whatever. So you're fishing. I mean, it's fun. We enjoy it. It's a job though. I mean, it's work too. So
now, how many circuits I know there's not that many walleye circuits, but what circuits are you involved in? Right
now we're fishing the Weekend Walleye Series, AIM Weekend Walleye Series, and the Cabela's Master Walleye Circuit. And then we do a lot of local tournaments, Graha Walleye Shootout, Lundmania, trying to think what else, Fishing to End Hunger. So just a lot of little local tournaments too. So,
and what kind of, how many weekends this summer do you think are you off at tournaments?
I think we have 2 off this summer that we don't fish tournaments.
Wow, that's quite a commitment. And, not only physically, but financially too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really a dedication to the sport. Now, going back before your tournament days, how did you get involved in fishing?
I guess my family's just always fished. My mom, my dad, everybody, my grandma and grandpa, we fished. My grandpa used to have a creek that ran through his farm that he'd give us cane poles and we'd go down and catch little brook trout out of. So that was when we were really little. So that kind of got us hooked.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if somebody, some of these young women out there, there's a lot of young women that aspire to be professional anglers, and I know people talk to me a lot about it. What advice would you give them?
Just do it. It's not any different for you than it is for the guys. I mean, get in the boat, drive the boat, learn how to back it up, learn how to run the rods and reels and to tackle, and learn as much as you can about it. And the more you know, the better you get and the prouder you are of yourself.
Yeah, that's for sure. I've learned that, and it's a process. I mean, you never stop learning. I mean, no matter how good you get, I mean, that's the one of the great things about fishing. I mean, your skills can always improve. And what do you think helped improve your skills the most?
Just doing it, I guess, just getting out and practicing. Especially one of the things I always get kudos for is when I back the boat in. And everybody's like, oh my God, look, you back up. I'm like, yeah, but just learn, I mean, take the time out to learn how to do it and learn to do it right. And it's an accomplishment that you're proud of, and all of it, driving the boat, everything, catching the fish.
Right. I'm here at this place I'm staying now at with my boat, and I backed it between a tree and a building, and just zipped it right back there, and everyone's looking. And, I hope that someday in the near future that women backing boats into boat launches aren't going to create people to stop in their tracks. Because right now it still does, doesn't it?
Yes, it most definitely does.
So, if we can get this to be more commonplace. Now, a lot of our listeners are really good anglers. And I think that looking up to you as a pro one of the things that you have to do as a tournament angler is really break down a new body of water. And what kind of advice do you have about doing that to anglers looking at new water?
Boy, it depends on, like the size of some of the big lakes are on. It takes some time. You're not going to do it in a week. You're going to pick your spots and concentrate on that and, find the fish, figure out what they're, switch baits, switch you're cranking or you're running, crawlers or jigging minnows or whatever, see what the fish are on. If you can't get them to bite on one, try something else, just work, find fish and fish them.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the photos, some of the fish you got recently, and there's some dandies in there. The other thing I think that young new anglers have questions is, how do you start getting sponsors? I mean, I get this question a lot. I know. What advice do you have about that?
I guess the biggest thing I can say is work hard, be honest, fish with integrity, and use the products that you are trying to get the sponsorship from, and just be a good person out there when you're fishing. When you go to them and write them a letter and say, I'm looking for sponsors or whatever. How can I help you? What you need me to do. Don't just put your hand out, because that's not going to get you anywhere. It's a win-win. You're going to pat each other on the back. So, start local too. I mean, go to your local grocery store, go to your local bait store, ask them will you sponsor me in a tournament? Will you pay for some gas for me? Anything like that. Just say, this is what I'm doing. I want to get started and I'd like you to help me and I'd like to help you.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Really good. And, the other thing is, like you say, start small, and the other thing I think that you're really a role model for is your involvement with some of the youth programs, and you're a member of the National Professional Anglers Association. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what that organization can do to new anglers maybe trying to get started in the business?
Well, National Professional Anglers Association, I joined it in 2013, I believe. Is it 13? I'm trying to think how long it's been. No, 2008. It was longer ago than that. I couldn't remember now because it's been 10 years. It's a great organization. It's a good networking organization. You get to meet a lot of the professional anglers. You learn a lot from them. You get to meet a lot of the major sponsors. They put on a ton of kids events. So if you're running a tournament series or running just a tournament, if you're a member, you can ask them for donations, and they give you rods and reels and t-shirts and stuff to give when you put on a kids clinic, which is so much fun. We've done it for so many years and have just a blast. These kids are so excited, with casting contests and, teach them a little bit about boat safety and AIS and, and what's more amazing is the parents that stand there and listen when you're showing a kid how to tie a jig on, and, they're learning with the child too. So it's getting people back into fishing too, not just the kids, the moms and dads.
Yeah, those programs are great. And I think it's really important to get the parents involved too, because you can hand all the kids in the world a fishing rod, but if no one's taking them fishing, they're not going to learn how to fish.
Exactly. That is exactly true. I know Women Anglers of Minnesota too does a lot of that stuff too. So they donate rods and reels, and they're putting on some kids clinics and stuff too. And, now there's high school fishing, bass fishing and stuff. And there's actually a tournament coming up, in 3 weeks that there's going to be a girls team, and I'm the captain, so it's going to be the all girls team. So I'm pretty excited about that for high school. It's a walleye tournament too. So.
Oh, that's cool. Where's that at?
It's actually on Lake Bemidji, and it's a TBF, I believe, tournament. So.
Yeah, this is also fascinating, to me, and it's a hard life. I know it's exhausting, and it takes a lot of a time commitment, a financial commitment, but it can also be very, very rewarding, and it's a really fun lifestyle. I think there's so many cool people that are involved in fishing that you get to meet, and you're outside, it's just I can't say enough about it. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh, absolutely. We've got friends that we've made in this fishing community that they'll be lifelong friends. You miss them when in the winter,
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out ways you can all get together because you travel all summer together, and, some of them have kids, like I said, the ones whose 8-year-old boy is fishing the tournament with him. The Grothies are awesome people, and we travel with them a lot, and we just have fun with everybody we meet on the trail. So.
Do you ice fish?
Not as much as I'd like to. I haven't been doing it much lately and stuff, but kind of like to get back into it.
Yeah, I'm sure the winter, I mean, after that hectic of a season, you almost look forward to resting a little bit.
I need a little break. I'm going to go down to Miami and fish tarpon. How's that?
Oh, man, that's on my bucket list as well. Well, Brenda, thank you so much for talking to me today. Why don't you just give a shout out to your sponsors and let me know who you're sponsored by, and people can maybe follow you on Facebook if you want to have them follow your adventures. So give some shout outs to who's helping you out here.
Oh, boy, where do I start? We got Lund Boats, Mercury Marine, Offshore Tackle, Airwave Pedestals, Riverbend Resort, White Oak Inn and Suites in Deer River, Bishop's Performance Racing. Trying to think all of them.
Well, I know I see you on social media a lot, and, if I was a company that was looking for someone to sponsor, you'd be right up there top on my list, because I know both you and your husband are really well respected in the industry, bring a lot of integrity to the sport, and it's a joy to watch both of you throughout the season, and I wish you the best of the luck as the season progresses.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to the Women Angler and Adventurer. Sign up to get our podcast notifications so you don't miss a beat. This is Barb Cary, and we'll be back soon.